Adam Elliott and Melanie Coombs of Harvey Crumpet fame are back with their debut feature film, Mary and Max. Guys, thanks for joining us at City Search. Tell me, you won an Oscar for Harvey Crumpet. There must be a bit of pressure for you to back up with this one.
Oh, just a little bit, but luckily winning an Oscar does mean that people return your calls more quickly, so it sort of did help. Yeah.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of pressure, but you just got to block it out. The Oscar, I nearly said Logie. The Oscar just has like 100 Logies all glued together, and it's we don't make films to win awards. We just hope that audiences engage with them and get off their bottoms and go and see them.
Now tell me, after winning an Oscar, can you work with anyone now? There are some pretty big names involved with this film. Philip Seymour Hoffman, obviously one of the main character voices. Barry Humphries is the narrator. Toni Collette, Eric Bana. Can you work with anyone you want now?
Look, I think that's probably simplifying it, but one of the great things about animation is that it doesn't take a lot of time for the actors to contribute to the film, unlike with the animators.
Yeah, well, the poor old animators were in there for a year in these little black boxes, animating 5 seconds a day. But look, the actors really, they provide the voices, and for me on this film, the biggest thrill was working with Molly Meldrum. That was he only had one word, and it was quality, not quantity.
Can you just give us some degree of the scope of the project?
Well, actually, we started writing down all these statistics after we'd made the film, and we realised, wow, we'd actually gone through something like 70 kilos of plasticine. Actually, on our website, maryandmax.com, there's a list of all the things that we used. So we ate 7,800 muffins or something like that. This film was what we call in camera. So it means everything you see on the big screen, you could hold in your hand. So we didn't use any digital skies or digital effects. So the rain is all fishing line, the fire is red cellophane, and everything from a tear to an ocean, we used over 50 tubes of sex lube to make all this stuff. So so it's made in a very traditional way, but we did use a lot of technical tricks to make it look the way it is.
A big budget feature film, a normal live action feature film, would take about maybe 13 weeks to shoot, and our film took 13 months. So that just gives you some sort of idea of the scale of it. Pretty huge.
So when people go on about how long Australia took to make, I think Baz Luhrmann's a whinger, really. The film is essentially a comedy, and for me, sitting in the audience with Robert Redford and all these very famous people, 2,000 people all staring at us, staring at the screen, they laughed right from the get-go, right to the very end, and that's what you want. I mean, they cried as well, which is good. So we survived opening night at Sundance, and all the reviews have been great. So yeah, we're very lucky. I try and get a balance of light and dark, and get lots of visual gags. There's lots of toilet humour in the film, but at the same time, I want the audience to not just laugh but also cry. And it's like I try and make my films. Remember those Sizzler restaurants that you go in and it was all you can eat?
Buffet.
Buffet. Well, I try and do that. I get this big plate and I try and fill it with every possible thing. So it's an entertaining film. People might see it. It's a little bit bleak at times, but life is bleak, and I really want the audience to walk out of that cinema feeling, wow, I really laughed, but I also cried. Now I know a little bit more about autism, but the film's not really about autism. It's pure entertainment, and that's the main thing.
I understand it's based on a true story of you and your pen pal, Adam. What does your pen pal think of all this?
Well, I've been writing to him for over 20 years, and when I came up with the concept of the film, we let him know, and I wrote him a letter, and he didn't seem that interested, to be honest. But we've kept him in the loop the whole way through the process, and he hasn't seen the film yet, and we're trying to work out whether we should wait till it's up on the big screen in New York, whether he wants to see it on DVD. It's up to him. And of course, I've never met him either, so we're very keen to meet him. And Philip Seymour Hoffman said that when we get to New York, he's going to take us all out for lunch. So it'll be a very nerve-wracking lunch, but really looking forward to it. And we're convinced he's going to like the film.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Well, the movie is out on April 9.
Don't miss out.
Don't miss out.